Josephine and Penny, members of the South Bend Blue Sox team in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, are in the backyard of their host's home, rehearsing a colossally campy and alarmingly astute skit lampooning the league's fervent focus on femininity.
Batter up!
Hear that call?
That cat call, that is!
Naturally, the Blue Sox are the bats meow.
When it comes to femininity, we gals don't hesitate to South Bend over backwards for you. This is especially true of my teammate, JoJo D'Angelo, short for Lady D'Angelo. Of course, lest she be confused with Joe DiMaggio, that would be a no-no, JoJo.
Believe me, I know. The league drilled it into me like a rivet in an A-20 bomber plane.
Speaking plainly, JoJo here has got more steel than the mill she worked at before joining us as an outfielder. Not only is she a model player, but she is the model of all models. And don't you worry, this Rouge Bruise is the only spot of color allowed in the league.
Isn't my strawberry a real peach?
And don't you worry, this gal does not play for the other team.
The Rockford Peaches, that is.
She may be a sore winner, but that beats the gal who puts the man in sportsmanship.
Lynette Result, short for masculinette.
Don't you worry, I'm really Penny Marshallini, as girly as it gets.
When it came to looks, poor Lynette was not only batting average, her masculinity was no masquerade. A diamond in the rough is one thing, but a gal can only act so rough on the diamond before folks start questioning her value. The net result, the diamond got cut from the league. If only that dame had done the same as Penny. A shiny and shining example of ladylike likability. She treats each period of play not as an inning, but as a feminine. And how could she not? With that killer diller figure. Observe as she swishes past us in her Sonia Henning hemline. Proving without question that Penny's from heaven. Atta girl, you're really cooking with gas. You got a real nice swing, you know that?
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that. But were you referring to my bat or my hips?
You're batty, you're bat.
Naturally, don't you worry.
I can't help but worry. We want to poke fun at the league's code of conduct, not conduct ourselves like a couple of rotten apples. If we perform that skit at the team banquet, we'll spoil the whole bushel.
Now just an apple picking minute, Joe.
Let's just rewrite it, Penny, please, so we'll be safe instead of out. Yes, some players think it's lousy and loony that the league lobs all these rules at us to ensure we look like girls, but I think it's a good move. It's wise. Who wants a bunch of foul ball players?
With all due respect, Joe.
Exactly. We have to be more respectful. I've already gotten one warning from management about butchering my hair. Too boyish a bob, they said. So forgive me if some of this is hitting a little too close to home plate.
Is there something you want to touch base with me about?
No.
Oh.
Really? You're just going to let it go?
There's no prying in baseball.
Tell that to the Holbrooks, always wondering whether we have social engagements. Our host family is supposed to dote on us and cheer us on, not fix us up. The only reason Miss Holbrook wants her little soldiers home, aside from motherly love, of course, is because she thinks we make the keenest couples. I'd take a double header over a double wedding any day.
I'm with you. I am in complete agreement with you. And anyways, they're far enough away, so we're safe.
I just hope they stay out of the picture. Scratch that. I hope they stay in the picture. Every single hotshot snapshot.
Speaking of pictures, you should wear your lavender blouse for the publicity shoots tomorrow. Of course, they won't be in color, but it'll look so dapper with your infield brown A-line skirt, and I can draw the seams on the back of your legs like I did last time, unless you got some new nylons. Granted, I'm not great at it. One seam looked like a jump rope, and the other looked like the string on a pole-along duck.
That's okay. Sometimes it's hard to stay straight.
That explains my fondness for shapely things like curveballs and crescent moons and... You think we could talk the team into taking paper moon portraits instead of publicity photos? My folks had one made on their honeymoon. We'd look so cute cradled by a cardboard crescent.
How do you even pose for one of those?
You just sit close like a ball in the pocket of a glove.
Aww. Pen, are we people of a kind? Never mind. Let's just pretend there's an air raid and yank those blackout curtains closed. We don't want to avoid detection by enemies and traitors or anyone who can hurt us, not encourage it.
You know that song in Oklahoma, I Can't Say No?
We're not in Oklahoma, Penn, we're in Indiana.
I'm talking about the music from the musicale, the record I'm always party hard hardball. I should say no to the question about whether we're people of a kind, but I just can't do it. I can't say no. It's on the record.
Also on the record is, it's a scandal, it's an outrage, not to mention people will say we're in love.
My kind of people.
We aren't, though. What they'll say.
Aren't we?
Are we?
I can't say. But they taught us in charm school that the eyes bespeak our innermost thoughts. So we could, just for confirmation's sake, peer into each other's peepers?
This reminds me of that one publicity picture where we're all masquerading as manicurists. Makes sense, since the league loves letting the people know that they've given their players polish. Anyway, you were painting my nails and holding my hands the way you were and holding it, and probably just standard shellacking procedure. But it looked like you were about to lift it to your lips and kiss it.
I don't want people to say we're in love until we've said it first.
I certainly feel bespoken for, but these feelings, did they come out of left field and smack you in the kisser, or were you always Me, I blame Ball. Too many girls.
Lucille Ball and Too Many Girls drafted me too. I was 17 when I saw that movie in 1940, and boy did she make my ticker flicker. That Ball's a great cat.
And what am I?
You, Joe, are a humdinger of a gal.
Thank you. And you, Penn, are more riveting than Rosie.
Yeah, well, you've got more brass than a bugle.
Yeah, well, you've got more sand than an hourglass.
Joe,
Yeah?
now would be a good time to shoot your snoot to me for a smooch. That kiss was more seamless than softballs and baseballs. Hurtled my heart right out of the park. You all right, Joe? Your eyes are rounder than canteens, and you look like you're about to make a pop fly and plop down. Don't be ashamed of your talent. There we go. You better be careful with that winning smile. Those chippy choppers might tempt the Blue Sox to trade you to Pepsodent. But don't worry. I'd fight toothpaste and nail to get you back.
You're lucky I like a little oddball with my baseball, you know that?
Am I the ham you just can't can?
I won't even attempt to process that. Not while I'm still processing us. Penn, do you think we stand a chance? Ours is hardly the sort of war bond the government had in mind. Maybe we should just take the base path of least resistance.
We should not. Just because we have to ration our food and our fabric and our fuel doesn't mean we have to ration our happiness too. Why dwell on the swell stuff? Because who knows how long this freedom or this league will last.
The first season isn't even over yet.
But it will be before long.
And then where will we be?
Well, we could, just for destination's sake, see if the Holbrooks will let us stay with them. As long as we don't let on about us. I don't have to go back to the Bronx. Do you have to go back to Chicago?
No, I'm happy here in Indiana. Hoosier on first. I am.
So we're both playing for the uncannibal hams. And maybe the head honchos will see us and say, give those lezzies a league of their own.
That sounds like segregation.
Forget the whole thing.
Right, sure. Good idea. Come on, all-American girls kissing all-American girls, not exactly all-American, is it?
Joe, I don't mean forget about us. I'm rooting for us. As a matter of fact, I plan to put the mint in committed, capiche?
Well, as long as your loyalty is as unremitting as mine.
Then you're in? I mean, we would have to get jobs in town to make a living during the off-season. I wouldn't mind working at Robertson's department store in the sweater section or something. Absolutely not at the leg makeup bar.
I'd love to land a job at the Palace Theater. I'd get to wear slacks. I'd be there with bells on.
You better not be there with any Rancine bells on you.
Are you kidding? Ball beats bell any day.
Hey, that's right. You get to see the new Lady Ball's new motion picture as often as you please.
Well, that seals the deal. Although, truth be told, my answer was yes right off the bat. Or on the bat works, too.
As part of our beauty routine, we're supposed to preserve the hands that serve us so faithfully and well in our activities. Let it never be said that you and I don't play by the rule book, which means we're gonna last in this league.
What's more, we're gonna outlast this war. What's that gal on the poster always telling us?
We can do it!
Her handkerchief may be dotty, but she sure isn't, and neither are we.
Plus, it's a woman's patriotic prerogative to embrace a man's job.
True, but right now I'd rather embrace you.
Oh, please do, my picture-perfect, mutually moonstruck patriot. And if you really want to make our league leader, Mr. Wrigley, proud, wrap yourself around me like foil on the stick of a chewing gum.
I think we just eclipsed Paper Moon Portrait Proximity. We'll get that picture made, Pen, and when we do, I'll be looking at the moon. But I'll be seeing the gal who hung it.
And I'll be seeing my sweetheart who I'll always go to bat for. In fact, I think being together will be a lot like playing ball, laborious, glorious, and victorious.
There's a past time and a place for everything and everyone.
Even a couple of dames on the diamond who got strawberries on the thighs and who are the apple of each other's eyes.
Before we start a fruitless game of cornball, let's rewrite that skit for the banquet. It won't be presentable, of course, at least not at present, but we can get past that and personalize it. Maybe even idealize it.
Batter up!
Queer that call!
The time has come
For one and all!